Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Andrew Deaker from Anything Blows. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. And we're here for the Caroline Dubios Mangala Rodriguez card review that happened yesterday. And yeah, good to get you back on.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. Lacking a little bit of sleep, but we're here and happy to be here.
Good stuff. And the first fight on the card was Stephen McKenna, Darren Tetley, and Stephen McKenna won round 6 after Darren Tetley's corner pulls him out after the 6th round. I do believe you got I think you said round 6 as well to McKenna.
Oh, did I? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you said 5 or 6, but I mean, that's 1-0 to you on like correct predictions.
Actual predictions, yeah. That's a hard thing about boxing, right? It's not like football where you can go 1-0, 2-1, 3-0. It's a little bit harder. You can obviously make your predictions like 7th round knockout, 8th round decision. It's just very hard to get the exact round. But yeah, sometimes it plays off.
But yeah, well done on that. But yes, from the first bell, I'm not sure if you've seen the whole fight. I know you were a bit busy, but it was just, in my opinion, the best fight on the card because they were just there, standing and trading. None of them started throwing jabs. It was just full on, as Tetley said, just swinging bombs at one another. He swings, he swung, and honestly, it was of the first 2 rounds. You could have, I said one apiece. Then it sort of went to McKenna, nicked the rest, but it was always competitive, and it was good to see McKenna's chin has been tested, and that is a good opponent to beat in Darren Tetley. Darren Tetley couldn't see out round 4. He was like to his corner. The corner was saying, "You're right," and he was like, "No, I can't see," but he said, "No, I'm fine though," and he wanted to go out on his shield, and he did. I think McKenna was going to go on strong to end the final 2 rounds, 7 and 8. But whether he could have stopped Tetley, I don't know, because he literally threw the kitchen sink at him. Tetley, apparently he asked Ben saying that he'll get Tetley back on. It's really good, but overall a good win for McKenna. And him calling out Josh Taylor, I mean, come on, you can't go that far. He's getting a bit ahead of himself.
I mean, talking about people calling out people above their level, you see Florian Marker calling out Conor Benn, Josh Taylor, Kell Brook, all of these guys. So again, look, I wouldn't call it deluded. I'd call it belief in yourself. Okay, it is a fight that is miles away. Let's be respectful. But at the same time, you got to have that belief, because look at Conor Benn. When Conor Benn was coming up, he's calling out the big names, and now Conor Benn is one of the big names. So, like I say, not to take the limelight off of his win, but he just needs to focus where he has at the time. Once he gets the title, then he can go from there, call out who he wants respectfully, but one step at a time. Great win from Stevie. One of the fights I actually did manage to watch fully on the night. And yeah, it was a great fight, and it was a great way to kick off the card.
And I think Stevie now moves to 14-0 with 13 knockouts, sorry.
Yeah.
And if I'm honest, if him and Marco are both calling out the big names, why don't they get it on? Honestly.
Yeah. Another Irishman Marco could face. Obviously, I believe Marco's meant to face Tyrone McKenna, because they pronounce it slightly different there, but Tyrone McKenna, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see where he goes in the rankings with that big win over Tetley.
And he adds to the name of the McKenna family and the huge Irish backing.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you get Marku v Stephen McKenna on top of the bill, I mean, the headlining like a prospect show. I mean, you get a sold out arena with Marku's noisy lot and the Irish as well. So I think you couldn't beat a better crowd than those two.
Yeah, 2 of the best, especially at York Hall, but that can do more than York Hall. I wouldn't say Wembley, but it could do Wembley, but it'd do like a 5,000, 6,000. It could do that. Would it be sold out? Yeah, I guess it could be sold out for the right title if there was a title on the line.
Yeah. I reckon they will. If they do fight, I don't think it'll be like a title eliminator. It'll be for like a British title or an international sort of title.
100% international, because I feel the rules are with the British governing body. I'm not sure how it works, but I feel like you have to have a British license, and I believe Florian does, so he should be eligible to fight for that.
I think he might, or the winner v Echo. That weight
Mm,
stacked.
that's a great fight there, but that's for another night. We'll get onto those predictions come October or November, sorry.
Yeah,
But Eku returning is a great one.
against Scarf. Yeah, that should be a good one.
Mm.
But then on the card we had Francesca Hennessy, and she stopped Soina Kios, who prior to that fight never been stopped, and she's only gone and put on a masterclass. I was very impressed with her. Were you?
Yeah, more than impressed. I was happy for not only her, but Michael, Bradley, her father, the whole team. She's an amazing human being. She is going up and up and up in the women's scene. So, brother Michael, I can't wait for the day that her and Michael sell out a card together.
Mm-hmm. And that moves, yeah. So she's a bantamweight, and looking at the bantamweight division, of course, you got Nina Shoes, Shannon Courtney at like the British 1 and 2. Then you've got Casey Todd, Kate Healy, Tori as well. She's already doing well, but I think a few more fights, and then I think she's ready to go into 50-50s. Maybe 2-3 more fights, then she can go into 50-50s, because stopping a woman who never gets stopped is a good statement, and glad to see her shine on the big stage.
And she had Savannah Marshall backing her there as well.
Oh yeah, and she's got the big people sparring her and backing her, so I mean,
Yeah.
she could get moved quickly like most of the girls do.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had we had the only heavyweight fight of the night on the Boxer Show. Jamie TKV suffering his first defeat to Igor Maciado, 6th round doctor stoppage. Well, the ref went off like that, but I don't even think the doctor had a look at it. I'm not sure.
I'll take your take on that before I give mine. What's your take on that?
If I'm honest, first bell, TKV didn't have an answer for it. If I'm honest, honestly, Igor was coming out slinging. At first round, he wasn't really hitting him clean. He was just slinging shots, not really getting him clean, but you know that they were hitting it. Then round 2, 3, Jamie felt the power. He just wasn't right from the get-go, really. Was it a step too far? Maybe. And maybe he looked past Igor in a way due to the fact he was being calling out Fraser Clark online and stuff. I just think it was all wrong yesterday. I think he got his tactics. He just looked stiff from the start. Didn't get going. But fair play to Igor. He looked good. And he capitalised on his opportunity. And that is 12 knockouts out of 12. And who knows, now he's upset one of the British prospects. Who knows, that win might have made him be like a TV fighter and get him on TV. So that's a big win for Igor as well.
Yeah, former Brazilian heavyweight champion. One thing I will say with Jamie, it was a last-minute opponent. I believe the guy he was meant to face was the guy that Adelaide beat back in June in the main event.
Yeah.
So, I can't remember his surname, but I think it was
Imar Akhmetov.
Yeah, Ahmetovic, something like that. And essentially, it does come hard having a last-minute opponent change. Again, Jamie is one of the best British fighters or British heavyweights in the country. I believe he's ranked in the top 10, if not just outside of it. And
15th,
yeah,
I think, or something.
15th. Yeah, he's a great fighter. He's beaten notable people in the amateurs, obviously,
and he's beaten Harry Armstrong as well in the pros as well. So he is doing well. I just think
he can bang.
And also, yeah, he can bang. And it was the battle of two bangers, and it was just not his night yesterday. But again, I reckon he'll come back stronger. I mean, if I'm honest, if you saw that cut, that was nasty.
It was a bad one. It was dripping.
Yeah, it was, and it was worse than no, it's one of the worst cuts I've seen in just boxing in general. One of the worst cuts I've ever seen that yesterday, if I'm honest. So speedy recovery to Jamie. And hope to see him back out in the. I think it'll probably be the new year now, but yeah.
And like you said, when someone causes such an upset like that, it's not like one guy that's made an upset and I'll never be get him on there. Shows, as I said, former Brazilian heavyweight champion, 11 knockouts. Well, now 12 knockouts, 12 wins. So just goes to show he wasn't a nobody, respectfully. He was a former champion, but he was a killer, as you say. And Jamie didn't look into the fight. Was he overlooking his opponent? I don't think so. But he was calling out Fraser Clark. Could that have been one thing on his mind? Who knows? But I guess like Fraser's more relaxed now that he doesn't have to face him for at least a while.
Yeah, but maybe Fraser could fight Igor or see what Fraser's about, because Igor, I think now people might want to, I don't know, but TKV will go back to the drawing board, and I'm sure he'll be back stronger in the new year or whenever he fights next.
100%.
But speedy recovery. We both wish Jamie TKV a speedy recovery.
Of course.
And then you had Callum Simpson v Jose de Jesus Machas, and it was unanimous decision. I think I got that one bang on. Not sure. You did say Simpson. But that wasn't bang on. I think you said maybe Simpson knockout. We'll have to...
maybe like 6th or 8th round knockout. I think I might have said something like that.
But he did. Callum looked good yesterday, and he won every round. He even dropped the Mexican, and he was standing and trading with the Mexican as well. He boxed at range. I'm very, very impressed with Callum. I knew it would be a tough ask for him to stop him, but I knew Callum would get it done. And I think onwards and upwards for Callum, really. I think he's got a strap with that win, WBA or something. But yes, I would like to see him fight Zach Shelley or somebody. Maybe Jermaine Brown, I'm not sure, but maybe...
He's already faced Jermaine Brown.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't fought Jermaine Brown. He was meant to fight Jermaine Brown yesterday, but Jermaine got injured.
Oh, I thought you told me he faced him. Oh, okay, my bad.
No, it's all right. But yeah, maybe he fights Zach Shelley, Jermaine Brown, someone around that level.
Like British level, pushing on to European, international, yeah.
English, yeah, sort of, yeah. I think he's there. He's unreal. Honestly, I can see him. And him v Shelley, I mean, some weight classes, especially domestic scene, are getting really good. Like middle, I think he's super middle, but super middle and middle, both absolutely stat. Quite a few fights I'd like to see out there for him, like Zach Shelley. Maybe he was calling out Jack Cullen, maybe. Actually, yeah, maybe Jack Cullen, but I think I would rather him fight Jermaine Brown, Shelley before he fights the Heffrons, the Cullens, the
elite level of the British scene, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, good win for Callum Simpson. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was a great performance. One, again, it was on the back screen of mine. That was the fight I was watching. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't watching the entire fight. I had it on in the background here and there. Bit on and off. I tuned back in for Vidal Riley, which we'll get onto in a minute. But yeah, look, it was a great performance of what I watched earlier on, here and there. And it was maybe a tougher night what it should have been, but he did do what he had to do, win the WBA super middleweight continental title. And again, these Mexicans come to bang, whether it's a journeyman, whether it's a rising prospect, or whether it's a former title challenger or someone that's fought for a belt on previous occasions, they're going to come to scrap. So it's not easy to defeat one of them, especially when you're fighting for a world title, not a world title, a WBA title.
Mm-hmm. And the new WBA International European Champion, Callum Simpson. Then we have the English Cruiserweight title fight. Vidal Riley now is and the new English champion, Cruiserweight champion Vidal Riley beats Nathan Quallers on unanimous decision.
Do you want to give your take first, or should I give mine?
I'll let you go first this time.
Wow, I am super proud of Vidal because, as we've alluded to before, as being born in this newer generation, we've come into this YouTube game, we've come into this YouTube scene, and there's always talk about Vidal, right? Oh, is Vidal ever going to step into the YouTube scene? Oh, Vidal going to take on Tommy Fury, take on these type of guys? Vidal's done the right thing, because I remember watching Vidal in Vegas, and I remember when he fought in America in the Mayweather shows. He was good, he was great, just didn't have the I wouldn't say the appeal, but he just didn't have the branding. He was out there, but he was out limitedly. Now with the boxer thing, boxer last year, he could have got out, I believe it was 4 times, but he could have got out 5 times, but he had that Chris Billings show cancelled at the end of 2022 back end. And you know what? Vidal is a killer. Like I said, the was it McGuigan fight that he beat? Was a guy called McGuigan, Ross McGuigan, right?
Yeah, he beat Ross McGuigan.
That was a great fight. That was a great knockout. Vidal, ever since coming onto box, has been leveling up, leveling up, leveling up. And again, we've seen the last two Anis Taj fights. He has what it takes to knock out guys. And Nathan Quadras is a tough opponent, 12-0 undefeated. Unfortunately, didn't get the the nod on the night, and he was a little bit slower than Vidal, but Vidal pushed into it, and it just shows how tough Nathan was. Vidal, amazing again, great performance. English champion, something they won't ever take away from him. He's forever a champion and establishing himself in the professional scene to block out, not only block out, but tell the other people, I'm not a YouTube boxer, I'm not social media. You can fight Tommy Fury one day, why not? But again, he's done what Tommy Fury hasn't done, and he's won a title in British boxing.
I agree. But if I'm honest, yes, Vidal looked good. He looked good. But with Nathan, yes, we said he would get stopped, but I expected him to go through it. That's why I expected more from Nathan. But as a positive for Nathan, he was tough. I thought in the whole fight, he didn't really land many punches. It was you could see what he was doing. He was trying to counter punch Vidal Riley. Vidal got him on the. It was just class from Vidal. I think maybe it was a step too soon for Nathan Quallers. Maybe he should have had a few more fights. And if I'm honest, his big night, it just went all wrong for Nathan Quallers, really. Could have been the night he showed the British boxing who he is and like at least put a decent performance on, but he didn't look great in there.
In the 8th round, it looked like he was out of it. Like I could visibly see in the 8th round, he's just like surviving. Like he done great, don't get me wrong, in a sense that he shows that he's tough, but could he have gone more? Like I said, we don't know the game plan, but also I saw that 8th round, he's just holding on.
I thought, even though Anis Taj got stopped here, I've messaged this to Anis this morning. Anis has done better than Nathan Quallers. Even though Nathan went the whole distance, at least Anis was willing to try and do something. Knock him out. Nathan was trying to throw one shot and hoping that he knocked Vidal Riley out. Maybe he didn't get going. But I can't, because normally some people do. When you lose, some people give a good performance, a good encounter of themselves, that willing to get them back on TV. But people would look at that and say, I can't see him getting, maybe if Nathan has 2 more fights, then go for a central area, try build his way back up. But I can't see him fighting on the TV anytime soon. But for Vidal, exceptional. Nathan's a decent opponent. He's proved that he's above English level, and I presume he should be he's wanting the winner of Miguel Lawler v Isaac Chamberlain, which is happening in 2 weeks. Why not? Or the fight I would like to see as well, whether that's like a final eliminator for the British title, Chev Clark v Vidal Riley. I think that would be an exceptional
That's a big step up. And Chev Clark, we'll get onto that in the next reaction, or the next reaction, should I say, but the IBF champion now.
Yeah, but yes, massive congratulations to the new English cruiserweight champion, Vidal Riley. Commiserations to Nathan Quallers. If Vidal does vacate, I reckon maybe Anis Taj v a Ricky Reeves, a Sheldon McDonald, or somebody. So if Anis wins, let's say 1 fight, then he's back in the mix, I think.
I think, with Anis's stature, but I just feel like Anis would need 1 or 2 wins. Like, unless he blasts someone out in the first round, I think he needs a step, and then you make it 1 fight, and then the second fight.
Sorry to interrupt. Maybe like a 6th rounder against a journeyman. Not that he does that, because he loves them.
Nah, he don't need that.
Maybe, but maybe if you just want to stay active, maybe try and get a 6th rounder, then maybe go for a Southern area and then see where you're at. You know what I mean? Because in my opinion, Anis Taj does win a Southern area. If he fights for the Southern area tomorrow, I'm not sure who's the current cruiserweight champion. I think it's vacant, but I think Anis would win one. 100% would.
Yeah, and then he said it himself.
He's above that level.
On our interview, he said if he doesn't go past British level, then there's no point. Like, what was he got to show? So of course he'll I believe he'll get that one day, one step at a time, though.
Yeah, one day I reckon Anise will win the English. But yes, it's a good domestic scene at cruiserweight, and maybe Vidal pushes on for the winner of Lawler, Chamberlain, or Chev Clark. But yes, then we had Caroline Dubois v Mangala Rodriguez, and the new champion the new IBO world champion Caroline Dubois. If I'm honest, dominant. I didn't expect it to be that dominant, but she just fully smashed it. That Rodriguez was ranked 3rd in the world or something. I expected a decent fight for her, but geez, was there levels to that yesterday. She put her down 3 times in the fight, getting every round win. Very impressive. And what else can you say? Outstanding.
Yeah, unreal, great performance. Seeing the knockdowns, not only on TV, but watching them on repeat. I feel like watching it live is one thing, like when you're watching, whether you're in the arena or you're watching it on TV, but when you watch it back on a replay, on a highlight reel, it looks way more brutal.
Yeah. But if you see who's at that world scene with the lightweights, well, on Box Rec, it's got a rank number 1 after that win yesterday. Sheesh. But you've also got Mariana Moreno, Miranda Reyes, maybe a potential fight with, we'll get onto her fight in a minute, but Rihanna Dixon.
Yeah, 100%.
Dickon, sorry. But yeah, other than that, it's not the biggest. There's only 25 women in that weight, so not many. So maybe she could potentially go up to super light and try and get in the mix with Sheltow Cameron, Katie Taylor, and Mosley, and people like that. If there's not many options down at lightweight, but overall, very good for Dubois, and I'd like to see what's next for her. And maybe she's out one more time before December. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. But yes, and who would you like to see her next?
As you said, it just depends on the women's scene. And are they gonna put undisputed fight? Are they gonna try unify, get another type fight? As you said, Rhiannon, it's tough because the female scene is so limited, or not limited, but that lightweight scene isn't that much, or doesn't have that many women in the scene. So they could try get another title fight, try get something before the end of the year. But I feel she could be back by next February, next March, when Boxer come back to. I believe they've got a show scheduled for Wembley, if not Manchester. I did hear and Benjamin talking about they want to be back in Manchester next April or March. So yeah.
Good stuff. Thank you for joining me, Andrew, and I'll see you in the next one.
See you, Sam. Don't forget to subscribe to Sam on SWS Boxing.
Thank you, and make sure you subscribe to Andrew as well. Thank you.